Welcome to Cybersecurity Insights. I'm your host, Dia. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of software vulnerabilities with a focus on XZ Utils. We all know how crucial it is for our security to be up to date, but what happens when the very tools we rely on have their own weaknesses? Joining me to explore this complex topic is Mairesh. Mairesh, welcome to the show. Now let's get straight into it. Can you start by explaining what XZ Utils are and why they're essential in our computing world?
Dia, thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to dive into this. So XZ Utils, that's a set of software applications which provide compression and decompression capabilities. They work on the principle of LZMA algorithm, which is a lossless data compression technique developed by Igor Pavlov. Essentially, it's like having a super-efficient vacuum cleaner for your digital space. It helps you squeeze every bit of information into a smaller package, making file transfers faster, storage more efficient. It's the backbone of many archiving and backup systems. And that's why it's so crucial. It touches almost every corner of our computing world. But here's where things get interesting, Dia. As with any tool we rely on heavily, understanding its potential vulnerabilities becomes paramount. And that brings us to the heart of today's discussion, deconstructing XZ Utils and exploring the shadowy realm of supply chain attacks on SSH. Let's not forget, folks, even the smallest crack can let in a world of trouble.
I love how you've set the stage, Mairesh. The analogy of a vacuum cleaner for your digital space is brilliant. And you're absolutely right, even the tiniest vulnerability can have far-reaching consequences. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are some common types of vulnerabilities that can be found in XZ Utils, and how do these weaknesses make it susceptible to supply chain attacks on SSH?
Well, Dia, that's a fantastic question. You know, when we're talking about software vulnerabilities, there's a whole alphabet soup of issues we could face. Buffer overflows, integer underflows or overflows, use after free errors. But today, let's focus on two big ones: memory corruption and information disclosure. You see, XZ Utils, being a compression tool, deals with vast amounts of data. And when it does that, it relies heavily on dynamic memory allocation. That's where memory corruption vulnerabilities can sneak in. A carefully crafted input file could cause the program to behave unpredictably, maybe crash, or worse, execute malicious code. And then there's information disclosure. XZ Utils processes files from various sources, and if not handled securely, it might inadvertently expose sensitive data it encounters during compression or decompression. Now here's where supply chain attacks on SSH come into play. Imagine this. An attacker finds a way to tamper with the official XZ Utils package before it reaches users. They insert a backdoor, a hidden feature that allows unauthorized access or control over the software. When unsuspecting users install what they think is legitimate XZ Utils, they're actually installing a compromised version. And here's where SSH comes in. Many systems use SSH for secure communication and file transfers. But if an attacker has managed to insert this backdoor into XZ Utils, they could exploit it to intercept or manipulate data during these supposedly secure transactions. It's like having a secret peephole in your supposedly secure safe. Even the strongest encryption won't help if someone can peek inside undetected. Isn't that terrifying?
Mind blown. Mairesh, you're painting a chilling picture. The idea of an attacker inserting a backdoor into what's supposed to be a trusted package is like a nightmare scenario. I have to ask, How do we know if our systems are affected by these types of supply chain attacks? What are some warning signs or red flags that might indicate our XZ Utils installation has been compromised?
Well, Dia, isn't it just? It's enough to make your hair stand on end. But don't worry, there are ways we can stay vigilant and protect ourselves. You see, detecting supply chain attacks isn't always straightforward. Attackers go to great lengths to cover their tracks. But there are some warning signs we can look out for. First off, Dia, if you notice any unusual behavior from your XZ Utils, like sudden crashes, unexpected performance issues, or strange error messages, that could be a red flag. After all, these tools aren't supposed to misbehave without good reason. Another thing to keep an eye on is the package's digital signature. Most official software packages come with a digital signature from their creators. This serves as a kind of seal of approval. It ensures that the package hasn't been tampered with after being signed. If for some reason the digital signature doesn't check out, or if you find that your system is using an unsigned version of XZ Utils, then it's time to sound the alarm. Because without a valid signature, there's no way to verify that what you're using is the genuine article. And here's where things get really interesting, Dia. There are tools out there designed specifically to help us spot these kinds of attacks. They compare hashes, unique digital fingerprints of packages against known good values. If something doesn't add up, those tools will let you know. But remember, folks, the best defense is a good offense. Keeping your software up to date, using trusted sources for your downloads, and maintaining strong system security practices can go a long way towards preventing these kinds of attacks in the first place.
Excellent advice, Midas. You're giving us a whole arsenal of tools to fight against supply chain attacks. I love how you emphasize the importance of staying vigilant and proactive. Now let's talk about the future. As technology advances, we can expect even more sophisticated threats from attackers. What role do you think artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, will play in helping us detect and prevent these types of attacks?
Dia, you're absolutely right. We've got to stay one step ahead if we want to keep our systems secure. And when it comes to AI and ML, well, let me tell you, they're going to be game changers. You see, Dia, the beauty of AI and ML is their ability to learn and adapt, something that's particularly useful in the ever-evolving landscape of cybersecurity. Imagine this, a system trained on countless good software packages and their signatures. When a new package comes along, it can analyze it in a fraction of the time it'd take a human spotting anomalies or inconsistencies that might indicate tampering. That's AI for you. And then there's machine learning. Given enough data, ML algorithms can actually improve their own performance over time. They learn from their mistakes and get better at detecting attacks. But here's where things get really interesting, Dia. ML isn't just about spotting threats after the fact. It can also help predict them. By analyzing patterns in past attacks, ML models could potentially forecast what attackers might try next. It's like having a crystal ball for cybersecurity. Of course, AI and ML aren't magic bullets, Dia. They require careful implementation and constant refinement to work effectively. But used right, they'll be an invaluable tool in our fight against supply chain attacks and other digital threats. So let's embrace the future, folks. Because when it comes to protecting our systems, every bit of help we can get is welcome. And with AI and ML on our side, who knows? Maybe one day we'll finally get the upper hand on those sneaky attackers. Wouldn't that be something?
Well, Midas, you're painting a vision of a cybersecurity future where AI and ML are an integral part of our defense systems. I'm excited to think about what's possible. But before we wrap up, I have one more question. What advice would you give to developers and system administrators who want to get started with implementing AI and ML in their own security protocols? Where do they start, and how can they ensure that these advanced tools are used effectively?
Dia, you're really making me think here. But I love it. Let's dive right in. First off, Dia, my top tip for developers and sysadmins wanting to dip their toes into AI and ML would be, start small. It can be overwhelming, but you don't need to tackle the whole enchilada at once. Pick one specific aspect of your security where you think AI or ML could make a difference. Maybe it's detecting anomalies in network traffic or predicting software vulnerabilities. Something manageable. Next up, Dia, educate yourself. There are tons of resources out there for learning about AI and ML. Online courses, tutorials, books. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to implement these tools effectively. And here's something crucial: don't reinvent the wheel. Many open-source projects already exist that leverage AI and ML for cybersecurity. Check them out, see what works best for your needs, and build on top of that. Now, when it comes to ensuring these tools are used effectively, Dia, you've got to test. Throw every possible scenario at your AI or ML model, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Make sure it can handle real-world situations without choking. And remember, folks, transparency is key. Make sure everyone involved understands what your AI or ML models are doing, how they're making decisions, and why. That way, if something goes wrong, you'll have a better chance of figuring out why and fixing it. Lastly, Dia, stay curious. The world of AI and ML is constantly evolving, so keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. So there you have it, Dia. My 2 cents on getting started with AI and ML in cybersecurity. It might seem daunting at first, but with patience, persistence, and a healthy dose of curiosity, I truly believe anyone can make a difference.
What an amazing conclusion to our conversation, Midas. You've left us with a clear roadmap for implementing AI and ML in cybersecurity, and a reminder that staying curious and adaptable is key to success. Well, it's time for us to wrap things up here on Cybersecurity Insights. I want to thank you, Midas, for joining me today and sharing your expertise on deconstructing XZ Utils and the shadow of supply chain attacks on SSH. And to all our listeners out there, thanks for tuning in. Before we go, let's take a moment to recap what we've learned. From memory corruption vulnerabilities to information disclosure, and from digital signatures to AI-powered security solutions, it's been an eye-opening journey into the world of cybersecurity threats. If you want to dive deeper into this topic or explore more cybersecurity conversations, be sure to check out our show notes and resources on our website. And don't forget to subscribe to Cybersecurity Insights for future episodes. Until next time, stay secure out there.